If religion was a thing that money can buy, the rich would live and the poor would die. Ah, my trials, Lord, soon be over.
17.5 million people. 1/3 of all rural families are left behind in an age of technology and industrial progress. Families, some of them large families, make less than $3,000 a year. Whites, Negroes, American Indians, Spanish Americans, farmers, ex-farmers, handymen, former coal miners, road builders, rural people struggling with poor housing, limited education, few employment opportunities, and little hope. Throughout America, regardless of race or heritage, they are trapped in a life they did not choose, a life they feel powerless to change.
Well, you can watch them walk along the street. They're bent over with their arms crossed frequently, looking down, walking usually slowly. You don't see any quickness or brightness in their step. They just have a defeated look and a look of hopelessness.
I just do labor work and got no education, and just labor work's all I have to hunt for.
Well, I think it could be a whole lot done in the way of improvement. It could stand a whole lot more improving than furnishing now. It's actually it could stand some better than our years got.
Of course, I don't know whether the man will have to make out if he don't get no better. He'll have to make out some way. These 6 of us in the family, and I only draw $96 a month. $96 a month for 6. Clothe them, send them to school.
Yet we now know their lives can be changed. These people can join the rest of America in a life of fulfillment and plenty. But improvement can only come when all segments of the population join together in an effort dedicated to providing opportunities for these people. Not more welfare checks, but opportunity, so they can use their own willingness and ability to become self-sufficient citizens. For example, it is difficult for a small farmer like this one to get along in the fast-moving world around him. His gross income for the previous year was $3,500. Out of that, $3,000 had to be put back into farming, leaving $500 for his own use. He and his wife struggled with no running water, no plow of their own, low-lying wet land and fields full of rocks. They have some cows, but no money for the right kind of feed. As a result, the cows cannot produce as well as they should, and the farmer's income drops still lower. His chosen way of life becomes more and more difficult to maintain. He is ambitious, proud of the farm buildings that he built himself, sorry to have to owe money for necessities, and distressed at the prospect of losing his farm.
I know if I'd get the right amount of help, assistance on this farm, I know I could make a go of it, could make ends meet, and if I can't stay here, I would have to lose it. I surely wouldn't know what else to do, because I've done no other work in farming. I've been here all my life, and I sure would like to stay here.
When farmers leave, it affects the entire area.
At one time, there was large families living here. They made their living over the farm by farming the small fields. They raised their own vegetables in their own gardens. But it seems like that is all gone. It slipped away from us. If we could help them just a little to live in these small communities and make a home here, we think it would be of great benefit to our cities and also our rural areas. The loss of this type of farm, the family farm, has been a great disaster to our particular part of the world here. It has taken the people away from us. Our little communities, our towns have lost the trade and the business. The people have lost and the soil has lost. It's a losing proposition, and our whole philosophy of life out here, the family farm, is being destroyed.
Some communities are seeking ways to help the farmers and keep them on the land.
We've had a demonstration farm program in connection with our work to help improve on livestock and on having better crops and in building up the soil and various forms of conservation. But we have moved more to the project method in order to suggest ways in which our people can at least supplement their income. One of the things that we are trying to do is to carry on work at our sorghum mill. Here people raise cane and then bring it to the mill for processing. This is a project in which we have been able to get the people to take much of the initiative. We have provided some leadership, however. We have a full-time director of economic development in our program.
The purpose of this project, this sorghum project, is to help the people of this area to help themselves. What we are really trying to do is to help really two classes of people, those farmers who would bring cane in to the mill, and also to help those who might be able to work here at the mill.
One of the firm convictions that we do have about our mountain people is that they do want to help themselves if given an opportunity. It doesn't necessarily have to be a sorghum project, but we feel one of the most important things is that local communities organize themselves and attempt to work at helping themselves together rather than depending on someone else to come in from the outside and furnish all the resources in terms of leadership and finances. It'll mean most when local communities can organize themselves and develop projects together.
But industry is only part of the answer. Sometimes a relatively small improvement can mean the difference between success and failure.
The most important thing is, in this valley of ours here, is the water. Without water, we cannot do anything.
Every year, the people of this farming community put up a brush dam in an effort to get water for their crops. But every year, the dam washed away in the floods. Many people got discouraged, left their farms, and moved away. Those who remained refused to be defeated. This time, they worked with the state and federal governments and received technical help and some equipment. The people worked without any pay to build the new dam, and it has outlasted the floods.
The dam you see behind us now is the most important thing for the people in this community, and mostly because we made it with our own hands, and the people are very proud because they've done the work themselves.
Rural poverty involves more than the specific problems of farmers. Its effects are widespread. Children are especially hard hit. By nature, full of life, exuberant, eager to learn, children are crushed by poverty. Hunger, malnutrition, and disease often stifle these young lives before they have a chance to develop.
They're undernourished, malnourished rather. They get worms. Now, it's a pitiful thing to say, but 80 out of 100 children in some of these schools have parasitosis, which means worms.
It's common knowledge that literally thousands of children go to school each day and go throughout the day with anything to eat because they do not have lunchroom money.
Well, I would love to see them have a hot lunch for one thing. Now, and their stuff out of a can, you know, and pour it out. And
the children entering many others. They had no breakfast before leaving home. But this school found a way to give them a hot meal early in the morning. The cafeteria staff is paid by the regular school lunch program, And the extra food is provided by the federal government. As a result, the children no longer have fainting spells, nor do they sit through a long day of classes on an empty stomach.